Welcome, friends. It's time to get your cacao ready and settle in as we join for another episode of Megan Hopper Presents The Cacao Crowd, where we'll connect to heal, empower, and learn to love ourselves a little more each day. Hey guys, it's another Thursday. We've made it through another week. And for me, I've made it through another year because it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Sorry, I'm totally just pulling that because you know what? I'm here doing a podcast with all of you on my birthday. So we're all going to celebrate. And in studio tonight to celebrate is Kaitlan Whitteberry from Whit Travel, who will be telling us some fun tips, tricks, tools, places to go that are a little more relaxing and focused on wellness instead of the stress of the holidays.
Yes, that is why I'm here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And you are familiar with cacao because we have shared many a cacao, including in parking lots.
Yes, we have, while waiting for a sample sale to start.
Yeah. So what we do here is always start with our cacao. I like to hold it in front of my heart, as you know, because it is a heart medicine. Eyes open, eyes closed. Today we have standard Keith's cacao, filtered water. I have coconut oil in it, which is very antibacterial, antimicrobial, all of those things. Really helps just kind of clear out the pipes, if you will. So definitely something to keep in mind with all of the holiday feasts coming up. You know, there's always kind of gluttonous occasions
Maybe
during the
don't
holidays.
do it before your plane ride, but you know,
yes,
after.
Yes, not before the plane ride, but definitely before the company holiday party.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And there's also some Eleuthero. It's Siberian Ginseng is the easier way to say it. It's an amazing adaptogen, so it boosts the body's response to stress so that you can handle stress better and helps boost your immune system. So really great for colds, flu, all of that, and it'll help maintain your energy levels. Yeah. So if you would like to join in, we always take a big inhale of the cacao first, letting the scent fill you, and exhaling, taking another big inhale, and exhaling, releasing the whole day that came before now. Just letting it go. It doesn't matter anymore. If you feel any movement in your body, maybe releasing some tension in your neck, go for it. And taking a sip, feeling it pass over the back of your tongue, down your throat, past your heart and your solar plexus, past your sacral, down to your root, and connecting you much like a plant or a tree through your roots into the earth. Feeling that stability and nourishment. Taking another sip. And this time, as it passes over the back of your tongue, feeling it going up, past your third eye or brow center, at the crown of your head, and connecting you to everything above. And calling in all of the gratitude for all of your guides and guardians, all of the plant, animal, and nature spirits, your ancestors and relatives, and all of our friends and family, seen and unseen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For filling us, for filling our cacao with all of the vibrations to make today, tomorrow, and this full weekend just full of happy, amazing magic. Allowing it all to come to you. allowing abundance and prosperity and good health and fun. Taking another big inhale, letting that light, that magic, that energy, that warmth, that glow fill you, exhaling everything you don't need anymore. Ooh, my neck just cracked. Well, we can continue to drink our cacao as we move on with the episode. I can't read that. I see you guys are saying thanks. Somebody said happy birthday. Thank you. I can't read the one below it though because I'm blind and don't have my other glasses. So
I can't read it either.
I'm going to go with
Sorry,
thank
I'll try
you,
and help.
Rachel Knight, because I can read your name because it's bold.
We're going to assume it was a positive comment.
I'm going to go with it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so now we move on to our fun facts. And fun fact for today is that I can't talk. No. The fun fact for today is that everything you're told is a lie. And by that, I'm totally kidding. So H.J. Heinz, when he created ketchup, did not create 57 varieties of Heinz. He thought it needed a number. He liked 57. It's arbitrary. It means nothing.
But they kept it.
They've been lying to you all this time.
About a lot of things.
Well, this is a half-hour-ish show. We don't have time to get into all the things that the world has lied about our entire lives.
True. But 57 will never quite look the same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I am not 57 years old, though. So at least there's that.
For a while.
Yeah, I've got
Many
a
moons.
while for that. I've got at least the age of an adult before I hit that. So we're good.
That's my scary age, actually. It's 57.
That's
you
an
ever heard that?
arbitrary number to
I
be
know.
a scary age.
Really,
Why?
anything after 55, really. I don't know. It just seems like you need to have things figured out by then. And if I hadn't, then that's scary. But
What is so scary about that, though?
I don't know.
When does that become scary? What is all the things that has to be figured
Just
out?
your goals. You know, places you want to go visit. That's for me. That's my biggest one. Is the world's too big. It's a wonderful problem to have, but
it is.
I want to see everything.
Okay,
and there's just limited amounts of time to do that.
There is, however, we are coming up to a really good time where there is a lot of travel, and one of the kind of parts of what you're going to talk to us about today are some places to go that have specific focuses on wellness, on reconnecting to everything around us, on mindfulness, on putting you first. So why don't we start with places to check out, since there's limited time to check out places.
Exactly.
Okay.
You gotta go now. No.
Go now.
Soon.
Book your ticket immediately.
Actually, we just got back from a trip. We went to Mexico and we went to the Riviera Maya, which is gorgeous. And we went to kind of a relatively new resort. I think they opened like 6 months before COVID hit. You know, goodness.
Okay.
Terrible timing, but they're doing great now.
Okay.
And they're really incredible. They're kind of the first of their kind. They're actually an all-inclusive, which normally is not
booze and brunch.
Yes, or fun activities for college kids and etc. Which is not normally my cup of tea. It's not where I would send clients either.
Or your cup of cacao.
Or that, no. But it's not like any other all-inclusive I've ever been to.
Oh.
It's actually a wellness-focused resort. All of the menu is completely plant-based, and I will tell you the food was one of the biggest highlights of the experience. The food was phenomenal. Now, we eat plant-based at home, so we're used to it. My fiance, though, is not 100% plant-based, so he was very skeptical of this newfound.
He's usually pretty good at accepting it.
He is, but he was like, it's a whole week. Just plant-based, because normally we'll go out a couple times a week.
And just to preface this, because I know you guys, but our audience may not know you as well, Carl is a carnivore from Texas.
We're both from Texas.
Right.
My parents tried really hard to make me a carnivore, but I don't know. I got out here and things are different. Right. So anyway,
but I mean, like, this is a very like meat-based person.
Yes.
So,
and when we were there, they do offer meat additions to your plant-based food. So there's options for people. And
now, is that meat responsibly sourced and pasture raised and antibiotic free?
Of course,
oh,
it is.
Good.
I know they're doing all these things so well. So aside from just the food being fabulous and it being, in abundance, the resort itself is so well laid out. It's very, very spacious. It's at the end of kind of the hotel row, so you're not kind of sandwiched in between two other properties, and you don't have a bunch of people walking through, looking around. It just felt quiet and peaceful.
Yeah, you don't have blaring pool parties on either side.
No, not at all. And they offer all of these wonderful wellness experiences included. So they have cacao ceremonies.
Wait, they're included?
They're included.
So you're not paying extra for your massage and your foot bath?
Spa is extra.
Oh, okay.
But everything else besides the spa.
Okay, so what is included then?
So all of your food, that's a treatment. Oh gosh, there's a whole list. Top of mind, they have cacao ceremonies. They have art classes on the beach, which for me, that was probably one of my favorite. It was so nice just to sit in the sand and feel the earth, and it was lovely. And create. Although my creation was not great, but that's
okay. From the heart.
It did. It did come from the heart. And they have, every type of yoga you could possibly imagine. They have guided meditation, of course. They have sound baths. They have forest bathing. They have vibration classes, which I actually didn't partake in. I think I was quite curious enough to try that one. They had movement classes as well. They're really doing a whole wide range of experiences for every type of traveler. It's for the very experienced wellness traveler, but it's also for people like me who are relatively new and want to try things because it's interesting, but they don't want to feel, nervous about it or anything like that. It's a very welcoming, wonderful place. We had a great time.
Nice. And do they teach you about these things as they're doing them?
Yes. It's not quite a class in the sense that they're going to walk you through every step, but the entire resort didn't feel crowded. So, there were only 3 or 4 people in each of my experiences. So you had opportunities to ask questions. You got individualized attention. Here, classes like that I don't even know what they would cost. It would be much, much more than what you're paying for at the resort itself.
Very cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. It sounds like the perfect resort for this crowd, the cacao crowd.
It really is. It's and I don't say that often. I've traveled quite a bit, and this really stuck out for me. It was very special. And one thing that made me feel really good about being there too was the staff felt very happy. I felt like they were taken care of, because you don't always know. You hope. Everyone seemed like this was the place they wanted to work, which of all the options they have in the Riviera Maya to work in hospitality, for them to say that to me multiple times, makes me feel great.
Okay, cool. So we're booking the Cacao Crowd retreat. Everybody's going to go there.
They do retreats.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, got it.
Cool. And it will be booked through Whit Travel. Done.
Gotcha. I'll hook you up.
Awesome. Okay, so for people that maybe can't use this upcoming time to travel to somewhere that would be really cool, that would be a fun experience, they maybe have obligations. We'll say it that way. That would potentially require a vacation from their vacation. Yeah. What are some things that they could do to make that obligatory trip a little less stressful, a little more chill, and be able to come back and not need a week to decompress?
Yeah, exactly. So I've always thought the part of the thing that's so stressful about travel is that you're going into a new environment. It's unfamiliar. You don't have control over it. And it's new a lot of the time, right? And you kind of come into issues that you didn't foresee or that you don't know how to fix. So I always think about, how can I try to make it so those don't even come up to pass? And one of the best things I could recommend is bringing a water bottle that's already filtered, that has a filter in it. It doesn't matter if you're going to Texas and the water there is really, gross at your aunt's house. Not speaking from experience. Or you're going
No,
to
not at all.
Thailand and you're not really sure about the quality of the water there either. It's just something that you don't want to have to worry about. So bring that. And it's not large. I mean, you probably carry a water bottle with you anyway when you travel. Just make sure that it's empty, of course, when you go through security. Or you can freeze your water bottles too. If they're still frozen when you go through TSA, it counts as a solid, which is really, I know.
That's a tip I didn't know.
Yep. Now with travel these days, the lines have been longer. So be prepared that you may have to get rid of something if it is liquid. I mean, you'd have to pour it out. So,
or
maybe only do it for
freeze
domestic
hydro
travel.
Flasks,
That too.
so that it stays frozen.
Oh yeah.
And
Have you ever tried to freeze a hydro flask? I've had trouble with that. But if you can figure out how to do it, let me know.
I could probably freeze it inside of a bag so that it gets partially frozen in the hydro flask, and then move it out of the hydro flask to finish freezing so that it's got the form, and then put it in. Sorry.
Regular water bottles, freeze them if you'd like. Make sure they have a filter. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2, if you practice with essential oils at home, those are a really easy thing to bring. They're small, they're already travel sized. And for me, scent is so powerful. I'm partial to lavender, which so many people are, but just bringing that with me if I get stressed out, it's just a nice way to even use before bed to kind of help my mind recognize that it's bedtime, even if it's not normally my actual bedtime, if I'm going to bed in a different time zone. Some other things that are more about travel preparation, and I can't stress this enough, please leave early this year if you're traveling for the holidays.
Especially if you're going to LAX.
Oh, goodness, yes. I love LAX for so many reasons, but it's not known for its
accessibility at the holidays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, I would give yourself, honestly, an extra hour for domestic and 2 hours for international on top of what you normally would already allot for travel. Just lines are longer with staffing issues and with additional checks that everyone's going through. So do yourself a favor, get there early.
And download apps.
Yes, download apps.
All the airline apps that you're using.
Already before you go, because you know how airport Wi-Fi is not always great. Download the apps before you get to the airport. If you have guided meditations on your phone, download those beforehand too. They're nice to have little 5 and 10 minute snippets, or
just like this podcast.
Yes. Shameless plug. Or even little, shows that you like on Netflix. It's it's a nice to
something
have.
That is the creature comforts.
Yes. It's like the snuggly, blanket technology version of that is nice to have while you're traveling.
That actually physical thing is my go-to. I always travel with a blanket.
Yes. I always travel with a pillowcase. I know that seems a little bougie, but I don't know what it is. I just like to have my own pillowcase when I travel. It's a creature comfort.
Yeah.
So if you want one, I will not judge you.
Yeah.
Bring
I
your
bring
own.
my blanket on the plane, look at everybody and go, too bad.
Yep.
I have a nice warm blanket. Okay. Along with the essential oil comment to you, sometimes I use candles.
Yes, and be careful where you are traveling to.
Right.
You never know the restrictions in a hotel. Hotels can be, big fire safety.
Yes.
Just make sure you have approval before you do. But if you're going to your family's house or anywhere that it's okay to bring, travel size candles are always nice. And if you do have a travel yoga mat, that's something to bring. It does add a little bit of bulk, so I would only bring that if it's something you really think that you'll use. But it's nice to have your own mat.
You could do a yoga towel.
You could, just having
A little
something
towel
there
that goes over a rented or borrowed mat.
Yeah, very true.
If you are going to use candles, check out. I'll have them on I'm going to do a gift episode on the 16th. So I will have them on there, the specific brand, but beeswax candles also help with allergens. And there is often allergens that are different from what your system is used to. And that's why you have allergic reactions when you go places. So beeswax candles can help stifle the symptoms of allergies.
Good to know.
Fun tip. Frozen water bottles, beeswax candles.
We're full of tips here.
Yeah.
We're all about helping. We're trying to help.
Usually because we've gone through it ourselves and now we're like, don't make the same mistake. I can do this.
Yes, very true. I've learned from my mistakes, which I try to prevent my clients from going through the same.
Exactly.
That's part of my job.
Exactly. That's one of my teachers always says, what is going through issues and having problems arise, but training for being a world-class healer.
True.
There you go.
It only makes you better.
Yeah.
And more able to help more people.
Exactly. Okay. So then, we've hit on kind of the higher end resort that's specifically for wellness and for, creating this sanctuary to be you and connect with the universe and all things wonderful. And we've hit on just the little bits of things that can get pulled in when you have to go back for family things, when you maybe have to take a business trip. What are some trends that you're seeing just in general in like a standard hotel? Because there are so many changes that, I don't know how many of you know this, but my 9 to 5 does involve hotels. So I've seen a lot of things. But what have you noticed as a trend, being that, you see all of these hotels, not just the ones that I work on?
Oh, of course. I'm so happy to see that even the larger chains are starting to cater toward people who are more mindful when they travel. And it makes my heart warm, because it means that the word's getting out, that as a society, we're trying to be more. I know I'm getting all like, it makes me happy that we're trying to.
Your Princess Aurora is coming out.
Yes, it definitely is. But it's so true. I like to see that we're trying to be beneficial to the countries that we're visiting, and we're trying to get to know the culture and be respectful of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
When I was much younger and traveling when I was in college, I sometimes was embarrassed traveling because of how other students have, acted before me. And
the perception of the lazy American.
Right. And I don't even, it happens with all countries, I'm sure, but I'm glad that we're trying to move away from that. And as a whole, we recognize that we can have a positive impact on the places we go. But anyway, I'm seeing it in bigger hotels, which is great. So I actually was staying at a bigger named hotel recently, and they had, instead of the single serving plastic water bottles that are usually at both bedside tables, they had a filtered water station on every floor. And I was like, perfect. I have my water bottle, which a lot of people travel with water bottles. So it's nice to have that at the end of the hallway. I'm also seeing a lot less single-use plastics for toiletries, which I have to admit, I used to love bringing home the little bottles when I was younger. It was a little treat, but I found that I rarely used them. They would sit on my vanity or in my drawer for a while, and then I would try to use them, and I ended up, throwing them away or they wouldn't get used. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that's happened to. So seeing the, full-size dispensers in the shower with all of your products there, especially when you're staying somewhere for 3 or 4 nights, it's much less wasteful, which is great.
See, I used to take those little bottles and donate them to women's shelters. So that kind of makes me a little sad. But
that does. I believe they're still out there, I promise. But that's a really great way to use your leftover toiletries if you come home with some things.
Oh, no, I would just not use those. I would use my own, and then I'd take
them
those.
With you? That's amazing.
Yeah,
well, there's a positive use for everything out there. There really is.
There is. You just have to think about it a different way.
Yes.
But yeah.
Awesome. What else have I seen? I've seen yoga mats in rooms, in every room in some hotels, which is really surprising to me, which is great. That means they've had enough people ask for them that they thought this is a good idea to put one in every room.
Yeah. There was some place I stayed, I forget where it was. It was one of the chain hotels that they gave an option of a fitness package that you would get. They actually gave you sneakers.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I think there was a yoga mat involved, some little free weights and something else, and you would have access to on-demand fitness in your room.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I was like,
especially since, sneakers, I always try and tell clients to pack carry-ons. That's if you can, but it's hard to get 3 pairs of shoes, especially sneakers are kind of bulky.
3 pairs.
I know. 3. I wear one of them, so 2 pairs, really. Bring 3 pairs. Pack 2, but the sneakers are big. I'm tall. I got big old feet. So for me, my size 11 shoe, cramming it in there, it's not always an option.
Yeah.
So I usually don't run or go to the gym while I'm traveling. I'll do other things. I'll do yoga or Pilates. But it's nice that hotel gave you the option to do both if you'd like to.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There was another place too, because you mentioned essential oils before. I think it was a Hilton or Marriott. I don't know. One of the standard names that everybody's heard, that had a little booklet, like a little cardboard booklet, and a vial of lavender essential oil.
That's really awesome.
And specifically said, put this on your pillow.
Oh,
it's like,
little sprays. That's
adorable.
It's really cute. They're starting to really recognize that there's a demand for this and that people have choices when they travel, of course. But I think especially for people who travel with intention, they want a hotel that also understands the importance of that. And so these hotels are starting to listen, which is really great. And it's not just the wellness themed and wellness focused resorts.
Right.
It's
everywhere.
The larger hotels, which is really great to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if traveling and staying somewhere else isn't as stressful, then people are going to do it more.
Well, and yeah, exactly. And I think this day and age, travel, I mean, it's kind of, a sensitive topic for some people. It's stressful for new reasons now. And so people have to adjust if it's worth the risk for them, and anything that a property can do to make it less stressful and, have an ease of entry, I guess, when they do arrive is a positive.
I will request, should any hotels hear this podcast, that you create a quiet block, that by like 10 o'clock, everybody is quiet. There's a noise level requirement.
Some actually do. Now, it's not everywhere yet, because I think that's probably...
That'll be amazing.
I know. I'm like that too. I want a quiet room. Now, if you do book with a travel advisor, we can make those requests for you, because for some, they actually don't want the room to be quiet. They want to meet other people, and they want to be near the bar, and they want to go out, which is completely fine.
Right.
But
that's why
clients,
I want a block.
Right. 2 separate blocks or 3 blocks. Maybe there's a mid-tier that they kind of want to interact, but not all the time, which is great.
I have kids. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. They might want to, run around. It's nice to have those options, especially.
I have kids. I'm not hiding something from my parents. Just FYI.
Whew, made me nervous too. Megan, what are you?
I have a cat. He doesn't travel with me. He could. It's fine. No, he can't. He was attacking the Christmas tree. He can't.
One day we'll get him there.
He's adorable. I love him, but he's crazy. I feel like there's so many things that sentence applies to. Anyway.
You should bring him on the podcast.
No. There's too many wires.
That's true.
Things around.
I know. I'm thinking about Lenny in here, and that would also go.
Lenny would be better. Lenny is her dog.
He is.
Yeah, and he's cute too. Okay, cool. So if someone had additional questions for you, what is the best way to contact you?
Well, they can, there's a couple ways. They can go to my website, whittravel.com, or they can follow us on Instagram, and they can send us a direct message, or even comment on photos if you have questions. If direct messaging is too direct, we can always chat that way as well. Or they can email me, and I'm sure you could put the email somewhere in the comments as well if they want to get in touch with us. Ask questions. Just if you're, nervous about travel, if you want any guidance, we're here.
Awesome. Thank you. And she really is just this like angelic, sweet, nice person. She's not putting this on. I've known her for years. I can attest. This is normal.
Oh, well, that's very sweet.
So you don't need to be afraid to ask her a question. There are no stupid questions.
Oh, no. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. No questions too sensitive or too silly. I'm happy to help.
Yeah.
Any way
Cool.
I can.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and for
Thanks for having me.
dispelling lots of
And on your
information.
birthday.
I know.
Such a special day.
Yay. It's a good celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for all of your information, your insight. As she kind of mentioned, all of her information is in the show notes. So you can check that to connect with her. Thank you so much for tuning in on another Thursday. If you enjoy what we're doing, if this helps, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all the things. We're on virtually every platform at this point, I think. And I do have an event coming up December 19th in Costa Mesa. I will be posting details about it. So if you are looking to buy some cacao, get your ears seated, or just enjoy a really cool sound bath that I'm going to be a vendor at, come on through, check out the details. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks.